Everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to change the width, height or the aspect ratio of a live camera preview in Flutter Android application using CameraX as well as Media 3 library. So let's get started. So first, the very important thing which you need to do is you should use at least Flutter 3.32.0 or higher version. Otherwise you will face lot of Gradle issues when you try to run your application. And second thing is almost all the camera related code which I will be showing you is native code written by me. I am not using any third-party library, so just a heads up. So first let me show you guys the output. So here I'm mirroring my device. I'm just using Android Studio to show you guys the output. So here I'm mirroring my device. Given that I'm mirroring my device, so the output might be little bit laggy, just bear with me over here. So I'll just give the camera permission first, and here you can see that I'm able to see the camera preview as well as the I'll just close this. I have this take photo button as well. So again I'm just moving my camera, so it is taking a bit of time to catch up, but here you can see I'm moving my camera and I can just click on take photo, and once you click on take photo, it shows the captured image inside the image widget of Flutter as well. So just to quickly show you the important piece of code, here you can see in this particular scenario I was changing the width as 480 and height as 800, and presentation was layout scale to fit. So I can just comment out this particular part, and then I can just uncomment this one. So if I wanted to change the aspect ratio of 16:9, I will just rerun the application just to show you guys the output. Okay, in the meantime I'm running it via Android Studio because I'm just want to mirror my device, but you can run it via the Flutter run command as well, so it doesn't really matter. So let's just wait for this to boot up. Okay, and here you can see this is the output for the aspect ratio of 16:9. Okay, hopefully you got the point. And I think there is one more option of just changing the height, so something like this. I don't think this will take cause any effect as such, because I'm making sure the live camera preview occupies the entire width, so I'm not sure if it changed something or not, but let's see. Let's just hold on. Yeah, I don't think so. Here you can see it is not affecting much, but hopefully you got the point. That's what I was trying to say. So I can just close this. Okay, I'll just make sure I'll uncomment this. Make sure you use at least one of them, don't use all three of them, otherwise you will get a very weird result. So yeah, let's get started. So first here I have imported Dart.io. Then here is my camera view.dart file, which I have created. Now this is my own project name, Flutter. It should be your own project name, don't just copy paste mine. Then here is material.dart, here is services.dart. okay, the rest everything is boilerplate code which is present by default. Then here is my homepage widget, so it is a stateful widget. Then we are only doing it for platform Android, so if platform is Android then we are doing it setting it as false, otherwise we are using it as true. Then here is the method channel of camera permission as well. So inside initiate, if platform is Android then we just request the camera permission. Then here we do camera permission dot invoke method get the camera permission, and once we get the result, if it is true then we just change this variable to true. Then here we have the build method, and if permission is granted then we just display the safe area of my camera view, otherwise we just display this text of display saying that give camera permission. So here is my camera view, as you can see. So here is the my camera view.dart. so here I import Dart.io, Flutter material, Flutter services.dart. Here we have this stateful widget. Here we have a method channel of camera view. Here is the image URL which is empty. Then here is the creation params as well. If platform is Android, then only we are doing all this logic, otherwise we are just displaying a placeholder. So here you can see if image URL is not equal to empty, that means the image has been captured. Then we just display the image using image.file, passing the file image URL and setting the width and height as well. And here we have the Android view as well, whose view type is camera view. So this Android view will display the live camera view as well as the take photo button. Here we set the layout direction, creation param codec, as well as on platform view created. So inside on platform view created we just set a method handler as well, and inside a handle method we just have this particular what you can say a method Same name you need to use it on native Android side as well. And we send the image URL with the help of this. So we just get it over here and assign it to this image URL variable over here. Okay, next you need to go to the Android folder. You need to go to app build.gradle.kts. Here inside you need to add this dependencies block. Here you need to add Android X camera core, Android X camera 2, Android X camera lifecycle, Android X camera view, then Android X camera media 3 effect, and we set the version as alpha, then Android X media 3 effect as well. So here at the time of me recording it is still in alpha, that's why I'm using alpha. But if it does become stable by the time you guys are watching it, make sure you use the stable version. Then here we have this Android X media 3 effect as well as Android X constraint layout as well. Then just go to src main android manifest.xml, and here we use this usage feature of Android hardware camera. Then the camera permission, write external storage permission. Internet permission is not really needed, but I have just added it just for the sake of it. Then go to Kotlin, and here first you need to go to main activity.kt. Here you need to copy all these imports which are there. Here we just define the camera permission, and if Android version less than equal to p, we also use the write external storage permission. Then here we have this method channel result. Here we override this on request permission result. So if request code equal to request code permission, and if all permissions are granted, we just send back as true, else we send back as false. Here I just have one helper method just to check whether all permissions was granted or not. Then here we have this configure Flutter engine, where we register platform view factory as well. So this here you can see we are using the same string which we defined it on Flutter side, and here we are referencing a Kotlin file called my camera view factory. Now we will be defining this file shortly. Then here we define a method channel where we pass the camera permission, and if the call dot method is equal to get camera permission, then we request the camera permission. Okay, and then once we request this and the permission is granted, the callback comes over here. So yeah, that's what we are doing over here. Now coming back to this my camera view factory. So here we have this my camera view factory. So again, this package name I have just copied it from main activity.kt. So make sure you just copy that package name. Don't just blindly copy my package name. Rest everything you can just copy paste it. This is just boilerplate code which you have to write every time you want to embed a native Android view inside your Flutter application. So yeah, feel free to pause the video and just copy all this code. I'm just scrolling it to the side as well, so if you want you can see this part as well. Okay, then here you can see we are referencing another file called my camera view. So here we have this my camera view.kt. Now again, this should be your own package name. Like there are a lot of imports here. Feel free to pause the video and just copy all these imports. Then here firstly we have this image capture, then we have this process camera provider, then we have constraint layout, we have our preview view, then we have our button as well. Here is our method channel, here is our camera executor service. Then here we have the file name format as well. Then here we set the layout params to our constraint layout. Here is our constraint set as well. Here we just constrain our camera preview to all sides of the screen, and from the bottom we leave just a margin of 200. Then here we have a button where we constrain it to the bottom of the screen, and we add one click listener to our button as well over here. Then here we have setup camera, for which we call start camera as well as initialize our camera executor. Then here we have take photo method. So here we have just the image capture, then we have the simple date format, then we just use content values dot apply, passing the display name, mime type, and if Android version greater than p, we also set the relative path. Then here we have the image capture dot output file options. Then we just do image capture dot take picture. We override two methods, on error as well as on image saved, and here we invoke this method send from native, which helps us to send the URI of the captured image back to Flutter side. Then here we just do camera executor dot shutdown. We unbind our camera provider. This is just a helper method to get the path of the captured image back. And here we just override the get view, returning our constraint layout. Here we override dispose, where we shut down our camera executor. Then here we have the start camera, where we define the aspect ratio strategy as well as the resolution selector. Then here we have the process camera provider dot get instance. Then we do camera provider future dot add listener. We define our preview view. Then we define the image capture part as well. We get hold of our default back camera. then we define this use case group builder, we add this media 3 effect. Now out of these three, it's up to you which one do you want to use. You can again look into the documentation related to this presentation style as well. You can play around that as well. Then we add the media 3 effect to our use case group builder. We unbind our camera, we bind it to the life cycle, and and at the very end we just do context compat.get main executor, passing in the context. So that's it. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Bye.